The First Descendant is what happens when game developers actually listen to their communities and make changes based on player feedback. There's a cheeky new update in this game, and holy crap, it is so much better now. This is the kind of game you can stay up until 4 AM every night just grinding for rare items, and with the latest changes, it actually feels worth it to do that. My name is Star, thanks for checking out my video. Today we're looking at the First Descendant's latest update. You know where the like button is, consider subscribing for more video game content, and let's get into it. I think some developers and studios are really plugged into online culture because for all the rhetoric out there of video games having unattractive and ugly characters in them, there are some games that simply refuse to get beaten by the ugly stick, and this is one of them. Ultimate Freyna just released with this update, and my god, the marketing for it has been aggressively taking over my timeline. In fact, the entire marketing department for this game goes hard. They're not shy about any of their talents, considering past trailers are equally cheeky. I understand the approach too. Despite having everything gamers are looking for these days, fun gameplay, gorgeous characters, plenty of content to sink their time into, the First Descendant was having some trouble keeping a player base, even though it's completely free to play. This is a grindy type of game. It's basically the love child of Warframe and Destiny. Not my girl, Destiny, the game. And one of the biggest flaws with it was the layered grind. It was a grind on top of a grind on top of a grind, and you may not even end up getting what you wanted in the end. The loop was great when it worked, but felt like a complete waste of time when it didn't, so the last few patches have really gone a long way in improving the quality of life and making that grind more streamlined. Drop rates have gone up, wait times have gone down, menus are way easier to navigate now. Everything just flows a lot better. The gameplay is really solid, so now is the time to attract the eyeballs, and what better way to do that than release Ultimate Freyna in all her fishnet glory. They really didn't hold anything back with this one. The Ultimate Bundle and Premium Ultimate Bundles are available in the shop as usual, but I'm gonna be grinding for the parts personally. I'm already halfway there, so it's not even going that bad. We're also getting to know the character a little better with this new Freyna story quest, following the same pattern as the Bunny story quest before it. I'm only one cutscene in because I've been invested in this grind, but holy crap man, already 1,000 times better than the main campaign. I'm gonna be real, the campaign's terrible. The bar is so low that anything could pass it, but I'm legit invested in this, and I want to see where Freyna's story goes. This is exactly what this game needs. Give us more of these character stories because I feel way more invested in this than any campaign mission, and I would happily tune back into the game for future chapters. If every character gets this treatment and gets the chance to be fully fleshed out, I don't know man, the gameplay is already strong. I think some stronger narratives like this would go a really long way in getting players attached to the characters and caring about them. Hero shooters like Overwatch really lean into this, and they understand how forming a connection with a character builds an inherent connection to the game. So give me more of this. This is great. Other than the Freyna stuff, there's also a new ultimate weapon to match Hailey. The Frost Watcher is a sniper rifle with some chilly effects and another ultimate weapon to grind toward, and we definitely needed another sniper. But to unlock it, you're gonna have to get past the newest Colossus in this update. The Deathstalker is the newest addition in the hard intercept battles at a whopping level 145. Poison is the name of the game in this update. It's a new toxic boss to match a new toxic descendant, but maybe don't bring Freyna into this one. We also finally have a way to trade in extra blueprints we get during our grinds, and this is probably my favorite bit of new content besides Freyna. ETA 0 is a new character who appears in Albion on a weekly schedule. He shows up during the weekends from Friday at midnight to Monday at midnight Pacific time, and he is an incredible resource that lets you finally trade in extra blueprints and spare items. Now when you're grinding and not getting what you need, it's not a complete waste of time because now you can just sell off any unwanted items to ETA and get at least something for them. He trades you these vouchers for your items, and you trade the vouchers back for a different item of your choice. The store won't always have what you need, but the contents are on a rotation, so it's worth checking back every now and again to see what he's got. There's actually some pretty good stuff in here, like a spare slot for a Descendant, which I highly recommend you pick up as soon as you can. He may have that last part for the Descendant you're trying to craft, or he may have the missing blueprint you want for a new ultimate weapon. It's an excellent feature, one that was really needed because now we can't really say the grind is a waste of time anymore. With this update, they've also turned Albion itself into Halloween Town, no Jack Skellington. The whole month of October is spooky themed, players get some new emotes to celebrate every week. And of course, the standard bug fixes that come with the update. I won't bore you with all the patch notes, but I will have them linked in the description if you want to check it out. The devs have done so much good. I've been out of this game's loop for about a month and a half, 2 months, so I've missed some of the previous updates. Coming back into it, the difference is night and day, and I'm having so much fun playing. I'm actually losing track of the time while grinding, which is a double-edged sword, but hey, it means I'm having fun. There's a lot of content to grind toward in this game. The problem before was that the grind was so tedious. The layered RNG was such a thorn in my side, and it was the biggest contributing factor when I stopped playing. When it felt like I would never get the item I needed, it was just demoralizing. The gameplay loop during the campaign was fine. It was a nice vehicle for the grind because I didn't mind running previous missions back to get stronger for what lay ahead, and it gave me another chance to get items I may have missed. But once the story was over, the grind became a lot more tedious, and the actual long-term gameplay loop became clear. I'm fine with grinding most of the time, especially when it feels like I'm getting rewarded for it. But with the First Descendant, after beating the main story, it quickly became repeating the same dungeons over and over again, and I hope you prayed to RNGesus before jumping in. The double-layered RNG with the poor drop rates was ridiculous. Not only did you have to grind missions or void reactors to get the amorphous material you needed, which you probably only have a 20% chance of getting, there's also just a small chance of getting the specific drop you need out of that amorphous material. It's like, yes, I finally got the amorphous after an hour of grinding, only to crack it open and not get the thing I was really after. That's a waste of an hour, and I simply refused to believe some of the drop rates that were displayed in-game. This mission will say Blair's code is a 20% drop, so why did I have to run it 30 times before seeing the code? I guess my RNG is just that bad, but that's exactly what I'm talking about. I don't expect to always get what I need immediately, but it really felt like the game kept you from getting it sometimes, and after a while you just don't even want to try anymore. I think this is the biggest factor to the dip in the player base, because there's a lot of cool content to grind for, and stuff that I know players would love to get their hands on. The grind just made it too frustrating to want to deal with. And of course, it's designed to be that way on purpose. It's a free-to-play game, so they've got to get players in that shop to spend their cash on premium currency. You could grind for a month to get Ultimate Bunny, but wouldn't you rather just spend $60 and get her instantly? Sometimes, yes, I really feel like I would. After coming back to the game though, the grind is not nearly as bad, and Nexon has addressed drop rates multiple times, and they've tried to adjust them to make them as fair as possible. They'll argue any instances like running a dungeon 30 times without seeing the drop is just really bad luck. I had a super casual take before this update. Something like every 20th time you run a mission without getting the drop, it should just give the player a choice between a guaranteed rare drop, or let players trade in multiples of a different drop for the one they really need. But I guess that's not super casual because they actually added ETA 0, which is exactly that. Some of the dungeons can take upwards of 20 minutes, and spending all that time, multiple times, not getting what you need is enough to make me delete any game. And this one's no exception. Despite all the good things that it had going for it, I don't like feeling like I'm wasting my time. Now, it's not even an issue. The First Descendant is top-notch. I am very impressed with what they've done with not only this update, but the previous updates, because a lot of this has been in the game already. I'm just coming into it now. I don't get into these grindy types of games very often. I tried Warframe, it wasn't for me. I got into Destiny 2 for a little bit, but quickly stopped playing. The First Descendant is really the first game like this that has held my attention, so props to the development team. Going back to how I started this video, I really think that Nexon is plugged into the online culture because they're really hammering home the attractive girls angle, and I'm here for it. But that is all I've got for this video, guys. Drop a comment below letting me know who your favorite Descendant is in the game, and whether or not you've tried out this latest update yet. Feel free to collaborate with other players in the comments. There's that new 400% difficulty level, and I'm sure that we're going to need some squads for that. So if anybody wants to partner up, make yourselves known. But that's all for today. Thanks again for checking out the video. This has been Star. Keep shining, baby.